What's going on, you guys? Hope everybody is doing well. Got some couple of things I want to talk about today. And hit that like button for your boy. We almost at 10,000 subscribers. We almost there. Almost there. Hit that like button for your boy. But yeah, James Toney comes out and says that Terrence Crawford is the total package and that he's the best fighter in boxing. And of course, Yordenis Ugas comes out and says that he's coming for Terrence Crawford after he beats Errol Spence Jr. But to see the difference between Errol Spence Jr. and Yordenis Ugas with their next move, right? The difference here is that Yordenis Ugas actually says Terrence Crawford's name. He says that he's coming for Terrence Crawford. And yeah, this is what Yordenis Ugas had to say. He says, I would like to fight Crawford if I defeat Errol Spence Jr. The only thing I will say about this fight is that the winner agrees to fight Crawford and that the winner continues to go for undisputed crown. He says, I am ready to fight at the highest level of the sport and to give my best to the fans who watch the fights. And that's what Yordenis Ugas had to say. He said he wants to do it for the fans, give the fans the best fights in the sport. You know, Yordenis Ugas, yeah, man, he made an excellent turnaround in his career, and now he's in a really good position. He finds himself in a really good position in the sport of boxing. He finds himself in a great position, and all he has to do is get past Errol Spence Jr., and that is by any means no easy task. But I think Yordenis Ugas is up to it. And yeah, that's what he said he got next. He said, look, I'm going to be fighting Terrence Crawford to go for undisputed. He also mentioned that Keith Thurman is also an option for him after Errol Spence Jr. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Keith Thurman needs to kind of wait till this thing plays out. I don't think Keith Thurman needs to really just weasel his way into the mix, you know, when we this close to undisputed at welterweight. You know, it's been a long time since we had an undisputed welterweight champion. And one of these guys between Yordenis Ugas or Errol Spence Jr. may be taking those belts into a fight with Terrence Bud Crawford. So yeah, that's what boxing fans are hoping for. Of course, Errol Spence Jr. came out recently and said that he's coming for the next one, right? We heard Errol Spence Jr. what he said. He said he's coming for the next one. And the next one means that WBO belt that Terrence Crawford has. He's a little bit more cryptic, a little bit more careful with his words, but we know what he meant, right? We know what Errol Spence Jr. meant when he said, I'm going for the other one. We know what he meant, right? It's not rocket science. But, you know, some fans may harp on the fact that Errol Spence didn't say directly what he's going to do. But nonetheless, we know what he meant, and we're going to see if he follows through with it. But James Toney, lights out James Toney, comes out and says, James Toney, the legendary James Toney, comes out and says that, well, he was asked about who's the best fighter, right? He was asked about who's the best fighter, and this is what James Toney had to say. He says, I was asked who I thought was the best fighter out right now. I'm saying what I'm saying, and I said what I said. Terrence Crawford is the total package. Flyweight or your mama weight, period. Even with long layouts, he gets the job done every time. If you disagree with me, you still pee in the bed. This is what James Lights Out Toney said. He said, if you disagree with me, you still pee in the bed. That's what the legendary James Toney said. He said, from your flyweight to your mama weight. I mean, we already know what James Toney, how he feels about those guys, right? Because Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, he thinks Terrence Crawford's that dude. And he don't think Errol Spence can spell fight. And that's just what James Toney feels, right? That's just how James Toney feels about it. He said Errol Spence can't spell fight, right? But he said Bud Crawford's the total package. Flyweight to your mama weight. It don't matter. He's always ready. He's always ready to go. He's a dog. Yeah, that's what James Toney said, right? But, of course, we got Josh Taylor on the outskirts, right? Josh Taylor comes out and says that Terrence Crawford is a fight that brings that fear factor for him, right? Josh Taylor is a fight that brings the fear factor. And that he said that what was interesting is that he said he's 100% capable of beating Bud. But Errol Spence, Crawford beats Errol Spence. So a lot of box fans probably scratching their head at that. But nonetheless, man, we go wait to see what Yordenis Ugas or Errol Spence does. All eyes are going to be on these guys. after their fight, right? That's going to be a very important fight. And I think it's a good idea just to get fans interested in their fight, just to say what they're going to do next. Because boxing fans is expecting Errol Spence Jr. or Yordenis Ugas to go up and face Terrence Crawford. And that's just what boxing fans want. That's what boxing fans want to see. And boxing fans are tired of arguing amongst each other about this whole welterweight situation. Now, if Errol Spence Jr. can't get past Yordenis Ugas, then well, the Terrence Crawford fight likely wasn't going to happen anyway. And that was a bad move. But it's also a good testing gauge for Errol Spence to see, like, look, if I can beat Ugas, a tough guy like Ugas, with a lot of momentum, then I should be able to deal with Terrence Crawford despite my layoffs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's gonna be a tall task, tall order, man. But yeah, James Toney came out and said what he said, man. You know, I mean, look, James Toney always very outspoken. He's gonna always say what's on his mind. He's one of them OGs that's gonna tell you straight how he feels. He'll tell you straight like it is, and he don't care if you like it. You know what I'm saying? He said Terrence Crawford is a total package, and if you disagree with me, you still pee in the bed. You know, that's pretty funny. But yeah, you guys, almost to 10,000 subscribers. Almost there. I was going to go live with this today, but it was not really too much to talk about that I haven't really said already. But yeah, I just wanted to add the James Toney thing into there, and just to acknowledge that Ugas actually came out and said Terrence Crawford's name. You know, so we go wait and see if these guys hold true to it. I don't like the whole Keith Thurman mentioned by Ugas in that article. I don't really care for the whole Keith Thurman thing, because Keith Thurman is just kind of weaseling his way into this, and I think this story needs to be concluded with these three guys, and that's Errol Spence Jr., Yordenis Ugas, and Terrence Crawford. But yeah, hit that like button for your boy. We almost at 10,000 subs, man. We almost at 10,000 subscribers. And I say this too, for all your other guys that you may, the other channels you may follow, the other boxing channels you may follow, who may not be big, right? Who's still on the come up, hit that like button, man. Hit that like button. The like button is probably the most important thing you can do for your favorite channel. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.